TGIF. I hope everyone is having a fabulous Friday. Let's go ahead and get into today's coding challenge. Today we are still on the last week posted of November the 13th. This is the medium challenge. Let's read these instructions. So the problem statement says you have a data set containing customer IDs and their purchase amounts in various categories. Segment the customers into 3 categories: high, medium, low, based on their total purchase amounts. So here is the logic. It say for them to be categorized in high, the total purchase has to be greater than $1,500. Medium, the total purchases has to be between $500 and $1,500. And then for low, the total purchases has to be less than $500. So here's the expected task. We're to write a function to categorize each customer based on their total purchase amount and return a dictionary with the customer IDs in their respective segments. So here is the data they're giving us. As you can see, it's a list containing multiple dictionaries. In each dictionary, we are provided with the customer ID number, electronics key that takes in the amount they spend on the electronics. We have a furniture key that gives us the amount they spend on furniture. And then lastly, we have a stationery key that gives us the amount the customer spent on stationery items. So what we're doing is we're going to combine all of the amounts they spent here, and then we're going to go from there to categorize each customer. So the first thing I did, of course, was I created the function here, and I named my function segment customers. Just because we're going to provide each customer segment in the end. And then, of course, for my list, it's going to be the list of what the customer purchased. So I named that purchase list. So to start with, because we're returning a dictionary, here I declare an empty dictionary, which I called category, and that is going to hold our key as the customer and what segment they belong to. So here, at first I was going to do a really long if condition and add up each key for each customer, but instead I remember not too long ago we learned how to use the lambda functions, and I remembered that you can make this function and pretty much just call it on anything. So what I did with my lambda function, which I call total, instead of writing out so much code, I decided to make a lambda function on each customer, and that will help me to grab every subject that they bought stuff on for each customer. So instead of keep writing this customer's electronics plus furniture plus stationery in my loop, I just did it this way where I can just call this function and it'll do it for every customer. So I think it cut down on my code a little bit. So that's the lambda function. And what I did from there is I made a for loop that's going to loop through the list that they provided, like this list of data. And then for each dictionary in this list, this is where I'm going to call my lambda function, which is called total, and it's going to go through and add up the total for me. So in my list, I'm going through each customer in the list, and I'm getting the total amount that they spent just by calling that total function. And then once we have the total function, we're going to check the category. So if the total amount is greater than 1,500, which I don't want to mess that up. Ugh. So if it's greater than 1,500 here, we'll take the customer ID as the key, set the value to high, and that will be added to our category dictionary that we declared earlier. And so forth, if it's between 1,500 and 500, it'll be placed in the same dictionary. The key will have the value as medium. And then lastly, if that total is less than 500, it'll be placed in the dictionary and it will have the value of low. So that's how I solved this one. And at the end, we're just returning, like they stated, a dictionary with the customer ID and the value of their segment. So let's go ahead and run this and I can show you guys what I did and why I had to put that print statement here. So I'm going to go ahead and Python 3 it. And there you have it. As you can see, here we're getting the customer number, which is there because they want the customer number in the segment they belong to. So customer 1 would be in the medium, because here in the print statement at the top, I am showing you guys what the total price value was. So here they spent 1,000. After we added each subject together, it came up to 1,000. And as you notice, 1,000 is between the 500 and the 1,500. Thus is getting the value of medium. And then with the second one, we're getting medium because the total will be 900. And then the third one is low because, again, low, anything under 500 should be assigned the value of low. And then lastly, customer ID number 4 has the value of high because they spent 2,000 in total, and anything over 1,500 supposed to be assigned the segment of high. So that is how I completed this. I hope I was not confusing you guys. I hope you understood what I did. Let me know how you would have solved it. Let me know if you have any tips for me. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.